Welcome back to the Boon of Wireless podcast. I'm your host, John Horowitz from Atrium Unlimited Consulting, coming to you today from ANJ Media, high above the streets in northern New Jersey. Yes, New Jersey, the embroidery capital of the world since 1872. Our guest this week is Adam Wolf. Adam is the president of NWIDA. Adam has established himself as a thought leader in the industry with over 3 decades of experience in the field. He has spoken at countless industry events, sharing his insights. Adam's passion for the industry and his ability to connect with his audience has earned him a reputation as a dynamic and inspiring speaker. Full disclosure, I do advise NWIDA from time to time, and just wanted to get that out there. So, welcome, Adam.
Thanks, John.
Good to see you here on the Boon of Wireless podcast.
It's good to be here. I listen to you all the time.
Great. Thank you for that. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Thank you very much.
Well, NWIDA has been in the news since its inception, and let's talk to our audience. What is NWIDA?
So, as you mentioned, we are the only trade and advocacy association for the independent wireless shop. Mm-hmm. Sales only, repair only. If you own a wireless kiosk in a mall, you're fine. And what we do is we, as a trade shop, we use our buying power to give our members discounts. Anything you need to run a wireless shop, we can give you a discount on, usually between 10 and 40%. We'll save a wireless shop owner $12,000 to $15,000 a year.
Wow. So when you say an independent wireless dealer, you're not talking about Walmart or Target or branded stores like Boost, Cricket.
Well, no, the branded stores, absolutely. Most, if not all, the Boost stores are independently owned. Mm-hmm. All the Metro by T-Mobile stores are independently owned, so those guys certainly can play. As far as a carrier brand of Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, some are corporate owned, some are independently owned. The big box, no, they don't need our assistance. So we don't really deal with the Walmarts or the Best Buys or those guys. Okay. But we do have carriers of members, any carrier or MVNO that wants to support or grow their indirect distribution. So we do have a number of carriers and MVNOs who have joined the association as well. And
for those of our audience that aren't familiar with some of our terminology, an MVNO is a mobile virtual network operator,
exactly.
A reseller of the big three
exactly.
carriers.
They're a cell phone company that doesn't own the towers.
Right, and that's why they sometimes can be cheaper than their
Yep, and those are guys like Ultra, H2O, some of the formerly known as track phone brands, okay. Total by Verizon. Those guys are all MVNOs.
Okay. What do you see? Why was the need for NWIDA? Where did that idea germinate? And was it because the dealers are facing certain challenges? What are some of the challenges, first of all, that they were facing that brought you to create this organization?
Well, I'll take half a step back if I could.
Okay.
Immediately before we founded NWIDA, I was what's called in the industry a master agent, okay. Which probably every other industry calls a wholesaler. So myself and my company would buy SIM cards wholesale and then distribute them to the stores. Mm-hmm. And basically we would hear various complaints from our dealers almost on a daily basis. And I realized that most of their complaints were valid and that they had no support system. Ended up selling the master agency and forming, as you said in the bio, forming with a couple of other industry executives, the first support system that the independent dealer had. And it basically came about if somebody owns 1 or 2 or 5 shops has a bad month, it's going to impact them directly and pretty hard. If the big box across the street has a bad month, nobody at Walmart really cares. So we wanted to start by giving them discounts on products and services that they use, that they sell every day, to give them, like you said, to kind of level the playing field.
So I'll step back a few years. I built a distribution for a couple carriers in the New York market, I think 3, maybe 4 times, I can't remember. And one of the things that endeared myself to these people was that every week or every 2 weeks, they paid their employees out of their own pocket. Whereas I was working for, the big carrier, and if I had a bad month, I still got paid. Well, of course, I never had a bad month. You know that. So that was the respect that I got from those people, that they had to find a way to pay their employees. And if you have a couple of bad months, you said 4 or 5, they'll possibly go out of business, or their carrier could say, enough, we're going to replace you with somebody that can give us more numbers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And again, we can give discounts. We can provide discounts on anything you need or everything you need to run a wireless shop. Mm-hmm. Literally from the design of your store and the store furniture to the outside sign to the devices that you sell, the accessories you sell, payroll processing, accounting services, credit card services. We can get you funding if you need to pay your payroll and you're a little short. We have a company that does funding, and NWIDA gets better rates than anybody else on the market.
So what happened? When you were driving down the road one day or watching the Mets play, and this idea came to you? How did obviously from your experience of running a wholesale operation and hearing the frustration, but what took it to the level of being, as you said many times, being the AAA model for the wireless independent dealer? How did that come to you one night?
I was talking with another longtime industry executive, and there might have been a couple of beers involved, and just trying to figure out the next move, decided to get out of being a master agent, and said, well, wait a minute, these guys call all the time and go, I'm getting screwed by this guy, I'm getting screwed by that guy. And I was like, well, wait a minute. What if there was no support system. What if we built a support system?
Mm-hmm. So that was really the need for an advocacy group for these dealers.
Yeah, well, that was certainly the trade part. The advocacy group was something we knew we wanted to do in the beginning. Mm-hmm. We didn't know exactly how to start, to be honest with you. It was around the time that Sprint and T-Mobile were going to merge. And it became very obvious that they could not keep both Boost and Metro by T-Mobile. Mm-hmm. Anybody in the industry knows that wherever there's a Boost store, there's a Metro store next to it. They weren't going to keep both, and we got involved meeting with the Attorney General of many states. We got involved with the DOJ, a couple other agencies that have 3 letters down in D.C.
Right.
And was able to help Boost get spun off as part of the conditions of the deal.
You sound like our first guest that we had on the podcast.
Mr. Adderton.
Mr. Adderton is very, and hopefully people did see that ran.
Yep. If you haven't seen that, go back, watch Peter. He's always a dynamic speaker.
Right.
But Peter was very instrumental in getting us into the advocacy part. Since then, we've been contacted regarding the Track Verizon merger. Okay. We've been in contact regarding the upcoming T-Mobile Mint and Ultra merger.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And again, anything from a legislative point of view that's going to impact the indirect channel, we try to get involved in.
Okay. How is NWIDA helping to shape the wireless landscape right now?
We do what we can. I don't know if that's really a question for me to answer as opposed to the industry. But we do get involved. Like I said, we get involved when there's legislative issues, when there's something that's going to impact the dealer or the repair shops. We're the trade association, trade and advocacy for anything in wireless. Okay. So if you do two-way radios, if you do marine radios, if you do satellite, Global Star, Inmarsat, mm-hmm. they're all part of our association, as well as the cell phone guys. Got it. So when Samsung had a filing with the International Trade Commission and tried to ban every aftermarket screen for coming in, we got involved.
Okay. And how did that turn out for you?
It's not been officially decided. I have heard rumors that it's going to be I will be happy with the decision, but it has not been officially decided yet.
Okay, good. Who can join NWIDA?
Any independently owned shop that has anything to do with wireless, cellular, two-way, marine, satellite. So literally somebody who owns a kiosk selling wireless accessories in the mall, we mm-hmm. can save them money on those accessories, to somebody who owns, 3,000 Verizon stores.
Okay.
As long as they're independently owned.
Good. All right. And you mentioned to me that you went to Consumer Electronics in Las Vegas in January. What was your purpose for going there? Who did you speak with? I mean, what type of people? You don't have to say names, but what was your
Bill and Fred? No.
Yeah, what was your experience out there?
So NWIDA is an affiliated association with CTA, the consumer group that puts on the show.
Okay.
So we get invited out there. We get our names on the banners and, other nice things they do for us and we do for them. We went there basically to look for new products and services that the stores can sell. Wireless shops, their number one question/concern is, I need another revenue stream. What can we sell in the shop? What can we sell in the shop besides another charging cable and a case?
Right.
So we went out there looking to see that answer and had a couple of good meetings. There's some stuff coming soon that I can't yet talk about because it's not a done deal.
All right.
But we'll be able to get some more revenue streams into the dealer shops.
Good.
And if they're NWIDA members, save them money on those items.
You mentioned the type of companies that, furniture, funding. Can you tell us who some of those companies are? Or,
sure.
Without forgetting anybody?
No, I can't list. There's about 30 of them.
Okay.
So I can't do them all right now. If you want to go, you can go to nwida.org/discounts, nwida.org/discounts, and you'll get the complete list.
Right.
But Precision Payroll, who's actually based here in New Jersey, will save our members on their payroll. Sedco Solutions provides device security. So when you go into a shop and you see the stands that have the demo phones, and they're locked into those, that's Sedco.
Unlike device protection for a customer buying insurance for their device. This is in the store.
No, this is literally holding the demo phones.
So I don't say I walk out with the phone.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. All right.
Bold Display and Designs does our store furniture and our store design work if anybody's looking to do a redesign on their store. Olympus Funding will provide capital to anybody. There's probably about 20 other guys out there. We have 3 different accessory companies: Lux Wireless, One Source Suppliers, Eternity Wireless if you're looking for wireless accessories.
CES, not traditionally a wireless show. I mean, I know they have the big pavilion at the Venetian Hotel. I walked through it myself. But the one show that you've been very supportive and very active with is the All Wireless and Prepaid Expo, which happens every August at Caesars. I think it's been
at Caesars for probably 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
Is the greatest wireless show in the U.S. right now.
Good.
Has been since what was formerly known as CTIA show was sold and no longer became the CTIA show. These guys took it over. They are the biggest wireless-only show in the U.S. They're the best wireless-only show in the U.S. It is the one show that we put on our calendar every January and don't miss.
Well, we're hoping to get Rob and Tobias on the podcast in the next couple of weeks to talk about the show. The registration's opening up late in the first quarter, so we'll probably time it around there. But yeah, just a terrific show. And I actually was on a panel with you last year.
You were. Yeah, we speak every year. We do something every year. It's always a great show. It is the only reason I will go to Las Vegas in August when it's 108 degrees.
And the low rates in the rooms. So yes.
Well, still.
Yeah.
I tell people I'll meet you anywhere you want at the show as long as it's in Caesars Hotel. I'm not going outside. But we do that show. We've started to do the Gadget Repair Expo, which this year is in April in Las Vegas. I get to go to Las Vegas 3 times this year.
All right,
lucky me.
Good for you.
And that's more a show aimed at obviously repair and not heavy concentration on wireless, but people who do game console repairs or drone repairs are welcome to that show. But it's a good way for us to, kind of meet the dealers.
You're humble when I ask you about device repair and the work that you've done across the country, really. And one by one, I would say due in part to a lot of your efforts, the states are starting to adopt what they call the right to repair laws. Tell me how that is going for you? And are the dealers, I know they're not bowing to you yet, but they will be soon. But how has the dealers been acceptance of those change in state and federal laws, as well as recognizing what NWIDA and Adam Wolf have done for them?
It's kind of a two-part question, so I'll break it up. Okay. There are 3 states right now that have passed right to repair laws. We've been a part of that. Other organizations like US PIRG, as well as repair.org, have been very, very involved in that. And, it's these guys, the repair shops, need to be able to get the parts. Right. They need to get schematics when possible. And, the example that's kind of been adopted is, imagine you bought a Honda and then were forced to go back to Honda every time you wanted an oil change, right, or every time you wanted your windshield wipers replaced. You're not forced to do that. You can go to any auto parts store and do that yourself because you know how to replace windshield wipers, or you can go to your local gas station and get your oil changed. Quite honestly, it's just not fair that people who have a phone have to go back to Apple or Samsung or whoever else to get original parts to repair their phone. And that's what Right to Repair is trying to fix.
And correct me if I'm wrong, haven't both Apple and Samsung loosened a little bit of their formerly don't touch my phone?
Yeah. Apple launched a kind of do-it-yourself program, which I think is interesting, I'll call it.
Okay.
I don't know too many people who are willing to break open their $1,200 iPhone to replace a battery.
Right.
But it has allowed some parts and some instructions and schematics and some tools to be brought down into the independent repair channel.
Okay. And Samsung?
Samsung, same. They've really been concentrating on the bigger guys, the large chains, the guys like You Break, I Fix and CPR and those guys. But they're starting to see the light, I'll say. Okay,
good. I'm an independent wireless dealer. I heard about you. I met you. Other than going to NWIDA, NWIDA.org/contact, how do I join NWIDA?
NWIDA.org/join today.
Okay.
You can call our office. You can wait till April and see us at the Gadget Repair Expo.
Okay.
You can wait till August and see us at All Wireless, but I really prefer you don't.
Okay.
We do have a trial membership, 2 months, $1.
Oh.
You become a full-fledged member. You can try all the discounts out, see what you like, what you don't like for $1. Membership, honestly, is fairly reasonable. It's billed by the amount of stores you own.
Oh, okay.
A single store will pay $320 for a year.
Okay.
And they can save up to about $15,000.
Well, what if I have, like you said, I've got 300 stores. There is a Verizon chain out there with thousands of stores.
All the prices are on our website, depending, and it's grouped. It's a single store, and then it's 2 through 5, and
above.
It's tiered.
Okay.
It's tiered.
Okay, good.
So you can get all the different pricing on there. But anybody, doesn't matter if you have one store or 3,000, as you mentioned, can try us for 2 months for $1.
Okay. Anything you'd like to end with?
No, thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure to have you on.
Again, if you are heading to Vegas in April at Gadget Repair or in August at All Wireless Expo, stop by our booths, come and see us. Happy to answer any questions. We'll have some product samples of some of our, what we call our vendor partners, the people who give the discounts. We always bring some stuff. We always bring a couple of, now ancient cell phones that people like. We always have a Motorola flip phone, and people pick that up and go, "Oh my God, what?"
Which is making a comeback. I'm reading that.
Well, at CES, I saw the new Razr.
Yeah, okay, the Motorola Razr.
Razr. They brought back the name.
Yeah,
a foldable smartphone.
I think parents, which we could have a whole another hour discussion on parental control phones, and they even some people that want to stop being so tied into the social media and not just kids, but parents that just want to get off the smartphone and have a flip phone to make phone calls.
Dumb phones are coming back.
Dumb phones are coming back, yeah. So it's interesting.
I mean, John, I'm happy to come back and we can BS about our last 30 years in wireless.
Yeah, there it is.
Which will be your first 1 hour podcast.
There you go. Well, listen, to quote a very famous radio talk show, Adam Wolf, you've said it all. I appreciate you coming on. So that's going to wrap up another edition of The Boon of Wireless. Check us out at theboonofwireless.com. And Adam Wolf, thank you for coming in today and seeing us. Hopefully we'll see you all next time.